Good morning. We are starting off today with some conditions that are going to be very similar to the last several days. We've got some clear skies right here in Fargo, and the moon's still shining brightly here this morning. But there are places where we're stuck with some fog as well. So it really depends on where you are starting off with your Friday morning, by the way. Happy Friday. We'll expect to have that fog continue to stick around for a while until that sun comes up. So let's take a look at our visibilities now. We are at 5 miles in Detroit Lakes, and in Fosston, 1 mile, our visibility report there. Over to the west, Carrington, one of those spots that's really struggling with visibility, we're at 0. And just up the road to Devil's Lake, we're doing just fine. So it really depends on where you are. And 1.5 miles visibility in Langdon. So another morning with some patchy dense fog. Another morning where we've dropped below freezing again. So all of that area of ice that's melted and becomes ponds in those parking lots overnight or during the day, that's frozen up overnight. 25 degrees your current temperature in Fargo, 23 in Grand Forks. Wind is coming in out of the north or northwest. We're looking at wind speeds less than 10 miles per hour. So checking out your radar and satellite map, you can see it's relatively quiet here today. There are some places, again, where we've got the fog, but other than that, we've got good visibility and clear skies here for us in not only the valley, but beyond. So we're looking at some conditions that are going to continue to agree with us, continue to help us out as we're working our way through the thaw. Dry weather is key. So checking out your hour-by-hour planner, expect to have temperatures on their way up. Of course, this morning, once that sun is up, we'll expect to have some sunshine bringing us some numbers back into the 30s by the time we get into the noon hour. Heading into the afternoon, we're looking at some temperatures into the upper 30s to low 40s again after hitting 40 yesterday in Fargo for the first time since early January. And heading into the evening hours for your Friday, if you've got some plans, well, temperatures are going to be dropping, though it will still be mild. You'll need your coat. Temperatures are going to be into the 30s at 7 o'clock. Heading into the late night hours, we're looking at some 20s and more of us dropping into the 20s and a sub-freezing range as we head into tomorrow morning. And that, of course, means the potential for fog. So we'll see some patchy, dense fog again to start off your Saturday. Wind, though, will be out of the south, hopefully helping to scatter out that fog, and sunshine, too, will raise those temperatures and mix it out. Looking at noon, you could see temperatures back into the mid-30s to even a 40 on the map here, and more of us hitting that 40-degree range for the day for Saturday as well. So a couple of beautiful days in store today and tomorrow as we head into the weekend. A little breezier on Saturday. And by the 6 o'clock hour, we'll see some of us starting to dip a little, but it should be a pretty mild day, even heading into the overnight hours. We may not drop below freezing in some spots, a low 31 for Fargo. And that's leading into our next system that's going to bring in some wind, some rain, and potentially some snow and a mix of everything in between. A kind of a messy situation, but at the same time, we'll see that potential for moisture not be very great. We're looking at maybe a ½ inch or less, probably even less than that. So yes, that will get added back to the system, but it's not going to wash everything out and start up flooding for us. So that's good news. So heading into next week, though, we're looking at temperatures back into the mid-30s on Monday. We're warming back into the 40s heading into midweek with some breezy conditions Tuesday and into Wednesday. And then as we get into Thursday, a hint at some rain, and we'll start to enter a little bit more of an active period as we head into the Thursday time frame. And that's where we're going to keep an eye out for the potential for some heavier rain. And that if we do get an inch or so of rain, that will start the flood and the melting in earnest. And of course, warmer temperatures too, a potential for us as well heading into the end of next week. So that's a long time from now, but something to keep in mind as we're planning ahead.
The snowbanks are getting smaller.
They are. Little by little, they're compacting, and we're getting some melting out there.
Thank you, Lisa. Bounce and Bash is coming to West Fargo this weekend. Coming up, we'll get a preview of the event that your kids are going to love.